That persistent whisper was more than mere yearning. It was the voice of your calling, the deep resonance of your destiny, patiently waiting for you to fully step into the magnificence of who you truly are. You were never intended to simply survive within a predetermined framework. You weren't created to be contained by the restrictive, often fearful structures established by others. Instead, you were born to be a force of fluid motion, to flow with the unencumbered current of the divine spirit, not to march to the rigid dictates of outdated systems. The confinement you felt was an illusion, a collective mental agreement disguised as stability and adult obligation. The good news is that the very ground beneath this artificial structure is now experiencing a seismic shift. The old rigid systems are beginning to show irreversible cracks. The false sense of order that once controlled everything is dissolving before our very eyes. The door out of that mental and spiritual prison is not only ajar, it's wide open. It is no longer a choice but a divine imperative. It's time to step into the light. This next chapter of your life is one of unfettered sovereignty, where there is no external boss, no tyrannical time clock, and no need for human permission slips. Your future is mapped out only by divine coordinates, sacred destinations that are being whispered directly from the heavens into the receptive chambers of your heart. This profound departure from the norm is not an act of rebellion against structure. It is an act of remembrance of your original design. The world will inevitably label this transformation as freedom, perhaps even recklessness. But in the divine economy, this profound alignment is called obedience. You are actively moving into a way of life where the Spirit itself dictates your schedule, and undeniable miracles confirm the absolute certainty of your path. This very message, finding its way to you right now, is not a random occurrence. It is a powerful, undeniable confirmation. The energetic currents of true change have already begun to swirl and gather all around you, acting as a divine wind beneath your nascent wings. Every self-imposed or external chain that attempted to hold you captive in the realm of the ordinary and the expected is in the process of being utterly dissolved. You can feel it, can't you? That intense, thrilling pull, that deep and sacred restlessness vibrating beneath your skin. It's not anxiety. It's the profound sensation of your wings remembering their inherent power. They were never fundamentally broken or useless. They were simply waiting, gathering strength and waiting for this precise moment of divine release. So before we delve further into the breathtaking possibilities that are unfolding, take a moment, pause. And if this truth resonates deep within your spirit, acknowledge that feeling. If you feel that sacred stir, that recognition of your soul, let that be your affirmation. For too long, the value of your life was meticulously measured in minutes, not in profound, soul-stirring meaning. The metrics of a system that didn't care about your soul dictated the rhythm of your existence. When you could wake, when you could pause for sustenance, and even the scope of what you were permitted to dream. You unwittingly exchanged the richness of your true essence for rigid schedules, your innate inspiration for a set of mundane instructions, and your profound purpose for patterns that offered only hollow predictability. That controlling system tried to market this exchange as security, but from the vantage point of the divine, it was a form of spiritual captivity. You were rigorously taught to obey the ticking of the clock, yet the deepest truth remains. Time was never your master. You were beautifully designed to be guided by a much higher frequency, by divine timing, not by the frantic, arbitrary deadlines of human construction. Every single hour you invested in serving a structure that failed to see the light of your soul was meticulously recorded, not as a punishment, but as a crucial step in your preparation. Understand this deeply. The divine never allows a moment of captivity to be in vain. It is strategically used as an intensive training ground to prepare you for a future of powerful command and authority. You were, in essence, being conditioned to grasp the gravity of your purpose, the essential discipline required for true obedience, and the ultimate transcendent power of complete surrender. But that necessary preparatory season is now conclusively ending. The inevitable shift has already commenced, moving you from the realm of external control into the limitless space of your internal calling. You are no longer bound by the obligation to complete mere tasks. Instead, you are responding to the powerful, clear signal of a trumpet call. The heavens themselves are actively summoning you into perfect harmonic alignment, and every instruction you will follow from this moment forward will originate from a higher, purer frequency. This is not an act of mere rebellion against all order. It is a profound spiritual ascension into divine sacred order. You are entering a revolutionary phase where the divine source itself determines the true meaning of your hours. The old definitions are being rewritten, work is being redefined as worship, and periods of rest are transforming into moments of deep revelation. You will start to notice a breathtaking pattern unfolding. The more precisely you obey the quiet whispers of the Spirit, the more the external world gracefully bends in your favor. Opportunities will manifest from origins that feel utterly invisible. Encounters with people will align with a precision that can only be described as supernatural choreography. You will awaken each day, not because a jarring alarm clock has commanded it, but because the sheer, undeniable force of your purpose has gently shaken you awake. Your motivation will no longer be rooted in the crippling fear of lack or failure, but in the thrilling, electrifying certainty of your divine assignment. Your movements will no longer be frantic efforts to chase after money, but a steady, powerful stride to carry the glory of your authentic light. And this is where the beautiful, undeniable paradox of the spiritual life unfolds in stunning clarity. The moment you completely stop chasing what the material world feverishly worships, the world itself begins to recognize and chase you. The instant you release the suffocating illusion of control, you become truly and gracefully unstoppable. The very systems and structures that once seemed to box you in will now willingly open their gates for your passage. This happens not because you decided to finally conform, but because you profoundly transcended the need to do so. The rhythm of heaven is not defined by frantic rushing. It is defined by impeccable alignment. It seamlessly synchronizes every single moment of your life with the powerful, eternal pulse of the universe. You will begin to notice what you can only call divine interruptions, a crucial delay that ultimately saves you from disaster, a sudden cancellation that provides profound protection, or a seemingly closed door that strategically redirects you onto a path that is infinitely superior to your initial plans. You will grasp at a soul level that obedience is not a sign of weakness or subjugation. It is, in fact, the most transcendent form of wisdom. Initially, this new, expansive rhythm will likely feel foreign and disorienting. Your old self will instinctively try to plan it, predict its outcomes, and rigidly define its parameters. But you cannot, because divine timing is never meant to be managed or controlled. It is solely meant to be trusted and surrendered to. The old, fear-based world taught you to obsessively control all outcomes. This liberating new season is teaching you the infinitely greater power of simply carrying the presence. And as you learn to simply be and carry, you will realize something truly breathtaking. Freedom is not chaos. It is, in fact, incredibly precise. It is beautifully and purposefully guided. It is holy. Therefore, the paramount question shifts from, "What should I do?" to "Where is He leading me today?" Because the very moment you cease asking for permission from the world and dedicate yourself to listening to the whispers of heaven, the entire universe begins a rapid, deliberate rearrangement in perfect response to your simple act of obedience. You will start to perceive undeniable signs everywhere, recurring numbers, specific names, vivid dreams, moments that are far too specific to be dismissed as mere randomness. These are not coincidences. They are powerful confirmations, living proof that heaven is expertly managing all the logistics that you no longer have to bear. And just as you begin to settle into the comfortable certainty of this new freedom, the divine will gently but firmly push you one step further into the unknown, into the boundless place where faith becomes your soul. Trusted map. That is precisely where your old, hesitant self begins to waver, but your new, awakened self steps forward and instantly answers the call. Because your next vital mission will not be initiated by the promise of a paycheck. It will commence with a profound, undeniable whisper. And that single whisper will possess the power to instantly change everything. Your subsequent assignment will not come with a designated desk, a security badge, or the approval of a supervisor. It will manifest as a glowing location pin deep within your spirit. A sudden, inexplicable urge to move, a powerful, sacred pull you cannot logically account for, a calling that makes no sense to your intellect but makes perfect, beautiful sense to your destiny. You will wake up one morning and feel it. The entire atmosphere surrounding you has expired. The energy of that old, familiar place can no longer sustain or feed the voracious appetite of your higher purpose. This is the unmistakable way that heaven communicates. Not through the numbing lull of comfort, but through a quiet, escalating unrest that whispers with an irresistible urgency, "It's time to go." Your new season does not possess a fixed, permanent address. It is defined by coordinates, remote mountains, expansive deserts, vibrant coastlines, busy airports, bustling cities that have never spoken your name, but that already hold a piece of your unfolding purpose. Each of these divine destinations will relentlessly demand something new and deeper from you, and in return, it will grant you something utterly priceless. When the divine sends you forth, it is never for a mere change of scenery. It sends you specifically for souls. Every single movement you make transforms into a profound mission. Every journey you undertake becomes a prophecy unfolding in real time. That flight delay? It's not bad luck. It's the divine timing precisely aligning you with a stranger on board who desperately needs a word of healing or instruction that only you are qualified to carry. That random seat assignment? It is far from random. It is a precisely planned appointment ingeniously disguised as a fleeting coincidence. This is the sophisticated, beautiful way that heaven writes its grand itineraries, through carefully placed interruptions that vividly reveal a deeper intention. You will start to notice inescapable patterns, people you meet once but whose energy you can never forget, moments that feel as though they were rehearsed by eternity itself, landscapes that seem to recognize you, as if they have been waiting for centuries for your singular arrival. Because, in the profound truth of things, they have. Creation itself responds to the presence of a divine messenger. The wind subtly shifts its course when you land. The spiritual atmosphere dramatically changes the instant you enter a room. And even when no one dares to speak it aloud, the spiritual forces and human spirits all sense it. The chosen one is here. You won't have any need to announce yourself or your mission. Your mere presence will carry its own undeniable introduction and authority. In this unprecedented next season, your true value will not be measured by your frantic productivity, but by the silent, profound impact of your being. You are not tasked with building fleeting earthly empires. You are actively activating divine frequencies. The light you carry will accomplish more in mere seconds than years of eloquent speeches ever could. That is the new quiet and sovereign authority that you now carry. Silent, sovereign, and utterly unstoppable. And as you embrace this nomadic, purposeful travel, you will come to a profound realization. You are not merely escaping the confines of your old life. You are, in every single step, expanding the boundaries of your soul. Every step away from where you once were is a deliberate, powerful step into the breathtaking potential of who you are becoming. The individuals you encounter will often serve as mirrors, reflecting back the precise pieces of your purpose that you didn't even know were missing. A stranger's unexpected kindness will serve as a powerful confirmation of your calling. A child's pure laughter echoing in a foreign street will serve as a poignant reminder of why you were chosen in the first place. The divine will expertly use the completely unfamiliar to awaken the essential pieces of your spirit that had long been forgotten. And yet this profound, purposeful movement requires a depth of faith that radically transcends all logic. There will inevitably be moments when you have no earthly idea why you are going somewhere, only the unshakable certainty that you must. You will feel the palpable, divine urgency in your very bones, the deep, knowing sense that obedience is time-sensitive. When heaven issues the clear command to go, any hesitation instantly becomes a form of disobedience. And when you obey instantly, everything aligns. Doors that were once sealed shut will spontaneously burst open. Clear paths will manifest where impenetrable walls once stood. And divine favor will follow you relentlessly, like a faithful shadow that never sleeps. This is not a vacation or mere tourism. This is absolute total transformation. Your passport will amass more than simple ink stamps. It will accumulate undeniable spiritual evidence that the divine is powerfully alive in every nation, in every soul-stirring encounter, in every single human heartbeat that recognizes the profound presence of spirit through you. You will finally discover that the world was never a place of random, meaningless chaos. It was always a precisely coded map, and your awakened spirit is the key that has the power to finally unlock it. So, as you move forward with a new purpose, internalize this fundamental truth. Heaven is your ultimate employer. The entire earth is your designated office, and destiny is your true, non-negotiable paycheck. Every journey you undertake has been meticulously pre-written in divine ink. You are not aimlessly wandering in the dark. You are purposefully fulfilling coordinates that were etched into the very fabric of time, long before your physical birth. And the most powerful revelation, the precise moment you accept that your work is no longer limited to the local, but is truly global. Heaven immediately expands your influence beyond all existing borders, beyond all languages, and beyond all former limitation. But this profound realization introduces a deeper, thrilling mystery. Because somewhere out there in one of those future unfolding destinations, something is waiting for you. A meeting that is destined to fundamentally shift everything you know. A specific person, a single powerful message, a sign so undeniable that it will instantly make your entire preceding journey make perfect, beautiful sense. You will not see it coming, but when it finally happens, you will know, with every fiber of your being, that heaven's timing is utterly infallible. You might be asking yourself right now, how can I possibly sustain a life like this? How can I move forward without a fixed assurance of where the next opportunity, the next sustenance, or the next safety net will come from? But the humbling truth is, you won't be required to live like this. You will be carried. When the divine summons you, it never merely gives directions, simultaneously releases resources. Divine provision always, without exception, travels ahead of divine purpose. Every single time heaven hands you a new assignment, it simultaneously dispatches the supply long before your foot takes the very first step. That is why true faith is not about needing to see what's coming next. It is about utterly trusting that the road itself will seamlessly appear the very instant your foot moves forward in obedience. In this unfolding season, you will bear witness to a pattern of provision so exquisitely precise, it will shatter your conventional understanding of what you once called coincidence. You'll encounter the sudden, unexpected act of a stranger sending you the exact funds you need out of nowhere. A door you didn't even realize you needed will swing open on its own. Someone you once helped years ago will mysteriously reappear, with the precise resource you desperately require. You will realize with profound clarity that nothing in your past was ever truly wasted. Every act of kindness, every silent prayer offered in the dark, every moment you thought went utterly unnoticed. Heaven was meticulously recording them all as seeds of future provision. And those seeds are now rapidly sprouting into unexpected, undeniable harvests. You will begin to fully comprehend the silent, effective work of the invisible economy of obedience. The world's systems measure value based on frantic effort, tracked hours, and monetary exchange. But heaven's economy measures value through unwavering trust, radical surrender, and impeccable timing. Your faith, therefore, becomes your new powerful currency. Every time you consciously refuse to panic, you make a significant spiritual deposit. Every time you choose the clear path of obedience over the paralyzing grip of fear, heaven instantly multiplies your account. And when the perfect strategic moment arrives, the divine simply withdraws from the treasury your faith has stored. That is why the provision will often defy all human logic. It will respond not to your frantic calculations, but to the frequency of your trust. Grasp this deeply. In this powerful new rhythm, you will no longer be forced to chase opportunity. Instead, opportunity will relentlessly chase you. Because divine provision is not something you are required to earn. It is something you must simply align with. When you are walking precisely within your assignment, the necessary doors open for you automatically. The very favor you once had to beg and strive for will now begin to follow you uninvited. Bills will be effortlessly paid before they even arrive in your mailbox. The problems you used to worry about will start to inexplicably solve themselves. The same divine force that once fed the prophet Elijah with ravens and led the entire nation of Israel with a column of fire has not and will not change its methods. It is simply updating its messengers. And you, the chosen one reading this, are demonstrably one of them. But here is the final, deeper mystery to embrace. The divine often strategically hides the provision inside the act of obedience. He does not show you the complete detailed path because he requires your active faith to activate it. If he revealed every single step, it would cease to be a journey of faith and merely become a predictable transaction. So you will because not every open door that appears is divinely ordained. Some are clever distractions dressed up as opportunities. And deep discernment is the only faculty that will prevent you from thoughtlessly exchanging your beautiful, new wings for the comfort of old, self-imposed chains. As you successfully navigate this higher, more challenging level, you will come to a humbling realization. Freedom is not about doing whatever you impulse-drivenly want. It is about becoming the very best, most aligned version of what you were created for. It is not rebellion. It is a profound refinement. The divine did not remove your old external masters so that you could simply serve your own human impulses. He removed them so you could finally hear him clearly. The path of true sovereign freedom is narrow, precisely because it is sacred. Every step you take must be intentional. Every single choice must be infused with a higher awareness. This is emphatically not the season for spiritual carelessness. It is the season for profound consciousness. And yet there is an incredible beauty in this delicate divine balance. You will constantly feel the palpable trust of heaven being placed upon you. The creator of the cosmos himself believes that you possess the spiritual maturity to handle this profound level of liberty. You have triumphantly graduated from needing external control to gracefully embodying a sacred purpose. You are no longer merely being monitored by the system. You are actively being multiplied by the Spirit. Each day you live with this spiritual precision. You actively expand heaven's territory on earth. Your intentional actions echo far beyond the limitations of the physical realm. What you decree and decide in the quiet of the morning directly alters what dramatically manifests by night. You are now actively shaping realities, not merely surviving them. This is the profound reason why freedom can never be taken lightly. It is a sacred instrument, a divine inheritance that few can carry without ultimately losing themselves. But you were specifically chosen because you can bear this weight. Because you have intimately tasted the bitter cost of captivity, and you will never, ever waste the gift of liberation. You now understand at a soul level that the price of true freedom is sacred responsibility, and you are more than willing to pay it in full. So in this glorious new chapter, your entire life becomes a vibrant temple of alignment. Your precious time is transformed into a sacred offering. Your purposeful words become a powerful decree, and your very movement becomes a silent, living sermon that the world will witness without you ever needing to speak a single word. You will feel an unshakable, profound calm in the deep knowing that you owe absolutely no one any permission to walk in perfect divine obedience. You will move only when heaven actively moves, and that will be more than enough. But be warned, with every new level of freedom comes a higher level of accountability. Heaven will measure not how much you have been externally given, but how profoundly and wisely you have used it. Freedom is not a trophy to be admired. It is a sacred trust to be honored. And every day you wake up to your purpose instead of your pressure, the question heaven asks remains absolutely the same. Will you go where I send you today? Because soon that powerful whisper won't just send you to temporary places. It will summon you into destiny itself. There is an inaudible yet powerful sound that only the chosen can truly hear. A low, sacred hum that vibrates constantly beneath the deafening noise of the material world. It is not an external sound seeking your attention. It is a deep internal resonance rising from within you. The earth itself is actively calling your name. Have you felt it lately? That inexplicable, deep-seated restlessness? That hollow ache that no temporary routine or comfort can permanently numb? It is not a symptom of boredom. It is not dissatisfaction with your current possessions. It is the undeniable force of your soul remembering it has somewhere essential to be. This is because every chosen messenger carries a location encoded in their spirit. a divine destination that was precisely written into their design long before their physical birth. Some are unequivocally called to stand on silent mountains, some to walk through austere deserts, and some to enter bustling cities pulsing with intense, unseen spiritual battles. And until you finally arrive at your assigned territory, nothing around you will ever truly feel like home. You must understand this. The divine never creates a messenger without simultaneously assigning a territory for their work. Every chosen one is, in essence, heaven's ambassador to a specific frequency and location on the earth. Some are strategically sent to heal hearts that have been fractured by betrayal. Some are dispatched to awaken entire nations that have fallen into a deep spiritual slumber. Some are simply called to walk through places where the very air itself needs spiritual cleansing. And you have been feeling that undeniable pull, not because there is anything fundamentally wrong with your current life, but because something profoundly ready is waiting for you there. This is not a casual sense of wanderlust. It is a focused, powerful divine summoning. Your spirit often recognizes landscapes and energies before your logical mind does. You will find yourself magnetically drawn to places that make absolutely no logical sense, yet they stir something ancient and powerful deep inside you. A country you've never visited, but that feels like a powerful, distant memory. A specific street you pass that sends profound chills down your spine. That is not coincidence. That is undeniable resonance. Heaven is actively fine-tuning your frequency to precisely match the coordinates of your next major assignment. And here is the heart of the revelation. When the earth calls your name, it is not because you are missing something there. It is because something there is critically missing you. There are specific souls who are desperately waiting for the unique energy and message that only you carry. There are spiritual gates and portals that can only be unlocked the moment your consecrated feet touch that specific soil. Your very presence is a key, a living spiritual code that unlocks healing, revelation, or awakening wherever you choose to stand. You will not need to preach loudly, perform theatrically, or even offer detailed explanations. Your mere existence in the right place at the right time is enough to dramatically shift entire atmospheres. But this calling will not always arrive on gentle wings. Sometimes it will roar. Sometimes it will violently shake the foundations of your comfort until the act of standing still becomes absolutely unbearable. That is heaven's way of increasing the volume, because spiritual delay has genuine consequences. The longer you choose to stay where you no longer spiritually belong, the heavier and more resistant the air around you becomes. Things that used to flow effortlessly suddenly start to actively resist you. Opportunities begin to inexplicably dry up, not as a form of divine punishment, but as a powerful propulsion to physically push you into alignment. The universe itself will begin to move against your stagnation, because what is desperately waiting for you in the next place is far too urgent to be postponed. You might experience the loss of things in this transition, people, possessions, or stable positions, but you must not mourn them. Everything that cannot survive the spiritual altitude of your next assignment was never intended to make the trip with you. What lies ahead doesn't require your established comfort. It demands your profound courage. The earth is not extending an invitation for a simple vacation. It is issuing a powerful summoning to sacred service. Your next flight will not merely take you somewhere new. It will dramatically unlock something crucial within you. The air will feel distinctively different. Time will seem to move with a different rhythm. You will feel a potent energy pulsing under your feet like an ancient, powerful heartbeat. That is the confirmation you have been waiting for, that you have arrived, not just physically, but spiritually. And then the true work begins. Divine synchronization takes over. You will encounter people whose faces feel instantly familiar, whose every word seems carefully rehearsed by destiny. You will stand in places that echo the deepest longings of your forgotten dreams. You will realize, with stunning clarity, that you are not merely moving across physical space. You are actively fulfilling a prophecy. Heaven has been meticulously orchestrating this precise convergence for generations, waiting only for you to confidently step into position. So the next time that intense restlessness returns, do not resist it. or medicated away. That is not anxiety. It is the perfect calibrated alignment. That is heaven's internal GPS recalibrating your spirit's coordinates. You are not lost in the wilderness. You are being powerfully summoned. Listen closely, chosen one. The profound sound you perceive in the distance, that subtle vibration under your skin, that undeniable whisper in your very bones, is the earth itself speaking, saying, "It's time." Because somewhere across those borders and oceans, destiny has already exquisitely prepared a stage with your name permanently carved into its foundation. And the very instant you set foot there, heaven will exhale in profound recognition. The messenger has arrived. The long wait is conclusively over. The intense shaking, the deep longing, the silent testing nights that pushed your strength to its limits, all of it was strategically preparing you for this very moment. Every apparent delay was a deliberate, divine design. Every heartbreak you endured was a hidden,